The EDC bag, the everyday carry backpack. It's been a while since I've made an EDC bag video, though I've made plenty over the last decade. So today, we're gonna make a 2025 LLOD EDC bag video. I love gear, I love bags, I love gear organization. I love carrying gear from here to there. Whether that's in a plane, whether that's in a car, whether that's on your feet. I don't know, I was trying to think of something witty. But bags, no better place to put your stuff that doesn't fit in your pockets and that doesn't stay in your truck than a bag. Tons of people carry bags to work. Tons of people carry bags everywhere. And today, we're gonna talk about what I keep in my bag. So what makes a good EDC bag? I guess it needs to be comfortable, it needs to be cleverly laid out, it needs to store things well, needs to fit everything that I wanna carry, needs to look relatively good. Maybe it needs to be modular if my gear changes or I wanna use it for a different thing. These are the things that I look for in a backpack. And so a lot of us will have gear on body. That's kind of the on body EDC. And then a lot of people will have gear that they keep in their vehicle. And then what kind of basically just bridges that gap is what we keep in the bag. So I was gonna do something that looked cooler, maybe out in the barn, but I left my door open all day and it's freezing in here because winter's coming. So I think what makes more sense is I'll take this bag inside, lay it on a table, and just break down all the stuff I have and then how this Vertx Gamut is loaded out. All right, it has been a while since we've done a little tabletop video, but this is the yearly gift guide table. Maybe that is the last time I've used this table. Anyway, I will be doing the gift guide video here, probably filming it this week sometime. So, EDC bags. So the Vertx Gamut is one of the more popular, legendary, trailblazing bags in the tactical space. It was first introduced like a decade ago. So I EDC'd the Gamut. I have several EDC videos through the years in the Gamut. My most recent bag was the Urban Ghost. This is a 20 liter, this is a 22 liter, similar size bags. Somewhat of a similar feature set, but this one's kind of Vertex's most premium bag, kind of the most features, the most bells and whistles, especially for the size. But they got the Ready Pack, they got a bunch of bags. They got the Siege, which is a little more tactical, but Gamut's been one of their core bags. So they got the 22 liter. This isn't really going to be a bag review. I'm just showing you what's in the bag, how I have it loaded out. But during that process, it'll be better than any bag review that you watch probably. But 22 liter bag, they have an 18 liter sling. They have a 22 liter sling. They have the 22 liter bag. They have a 26 liter bag. And then they have like a 32 liter bag. Here are some of the colors, and then they have a black as well. The feature set is pretty similar across the slings and the bags, but if you are using it for a dedicated concealed carry setup, then the sling bags, Vertex's sling bags are the best for concealed carry. They got this quick little deployment method where you grab this big chunk and then you can get access to it. So if concealed carry is going to be your primary use of the bag, the sling bags are definitely worth looking into. I carry on body always, so that's not really a primary concern for the bags for me. But yeah, so this is the gray and black color. I think we'll just start with some exterior features of the bags and then we'll just get into how I have it loaded out. So on the back here, we have the ability to run your carry-on luggage or your luggage handles vertically or horizontally. So you can run them through that pouch or through this pouch. Then in the back panel here is kind of your primary concealed carry pocket here. So this thing actually does open up all. I'll just go ahead and open it up all the way. You wouldn't open it up all the way for concealed carry necessarily, but I didn't even remove any of the stuff out of here. I don't use this pocket for much, though I do sell a holster. This is called the Stage 5 Clinger that works perfectly in these bags so you can pack it on there, and then when you're accessing it through the side, you can access your weapon like that. So if you're a in-bag carrier, this bag is set up really well for that. Also comes with this that you can kind of mount other types of holsters in there with that, and then works with all kinds of Vertx's tactigami. There is also a separate pouch in there that you can put a body armor panel in. I don't have one in this bag. Maybe I'll add one. I kind of go back and forth. Some bags I have them, some bags I don't. The straps back here, nice, padded, good shape, adjustable. They do have a removable clip if you need to unclip them for one reason or another. The straps are adjustable. They got little Velcro holders to keep the excess from kind of just dangling around. Adjustable sternum strap here with the built-in little bit of bungee action. Multiple places to lash things down. Some elastic compartments here. Yeah, nothing too crazy with the straps. I kind of wish there was like a removable waist strap on the gamuts. I don't think they have them on any of the gamuts. Again, these are more EDC bags, not like hiking bags or backpacking bags or anything like that, but sometimes having that strap around the waist really kind of locks it in for if you need to sprint with the bag for one reason or another. Grab handle here, which is nice if you lay your bag in the back seat or whatever and want to grab it. You can use this handle to just kind of grab it up and out. So that's a feature that's on pretty much, well, a lot of the Vertx bags, but all the gamuts always. So then beyond that, we have some kind of hidden lashing points, hidden loops here. So I don't know if it's showing up in the video enough, but you can lash carabiners to many points on this bag, and they're kind of hidden as well. So they're not going to catch on anything. They're kind of out of sight. This colorway maybe looks a little bit tactical, but the bag itself isn't really screaming Molly panel and anything like that. So it just kind of blends in with the regular bag there. And then it has two elastic exterior water bottle pockets that does fit a wide, big Nalgene in here as well. This is a 32 ounce and it just eats it right up. So you could fit the 48 ounces in there as well, or your hydro flasks or whatever. I always like when a bag has dual pockets, because if I'm taking a bag out, if I'm going for a day, maybe I'm taking a truck to a shop and I'm going to do some filming and I'm going to do all this stuff, a lot of times I will have two water bottles or a water bottle and maybe like a protein shake or whatever. So I don't like when an EDC bag doesn't have dual water bottles for me personally. And we're not using water bottles. You can just store gear, snacks, whatever, a tripod, an umbrella, whatever you want in these water bottle pockets. So big, stretchy. When they're not in use, they're not like hanging out or too big and bulky. So dual water bottle pockets is always kind of needed. The only other thing on the bigger version of the pack does have one extra pocket on the side here. So it has the water bottle pocket, plus you can have kind of an expanding water bottle pocket in here or just other gear. So the 26 and the 32 liter does have that extra pocket on the side there. And it does have one other pocket up here. So that's the only real difference on the bigger ones. This one just has the single pocket on the top instead of two. So then you get into really where this bag shines, and really kind of what you guys care about here is the gear, how I have it loaded out, and kind of what you can put in here. So we have kind of this pocket that basically opens on this side access. And it does that because everything loads in from one side. So it's not really meant for top loading things. It's meant more for side loading things. So you can load these things out. These lower pockets here, you could fit AR mags. You could fit you could fit more than two AR mags, but there's two pockets that are AR mag sized. I don't have AR mags in here. I'm not using this as an AR pocket or anything like that, or an AR bag or a SBR bag or anything like that. This is just kind of tech everyday items for me. So we'll start at the top, and I'll kind of just show you what I have loaded in here. Up top, we have these webbings, kind of these elastic webbings that are also loop-sided, so you can slap any Velcro pouches on here as well, but I'm just using it as straps essentially. So I have a Leatherman scale tool. I do carry a multi-tool on body every day as well, but kind of a backup there. Here's just a heavy-duty gallon Ziploc bag for bagging things up. Maybe my kid has a dirty diaper and there's nowhere to put it, but I don't want it stinking up anything, and put it in a Ziploc bag. There's multiple uses for those. I have a cat tourniquet here. Just kind of, it is kind of wedged into this pocket. It stays put. It's not really going to fall out, but it is easy to grab out. I'll get that out of the way actually so you can see some of this other stuff. Leatherman Raptor shears here. I can fly with this. There's not a whole lot in this bag I can't fly with. I'll essentially need to take out the Leatherman and this pepper spray, and then I'll be good to fly with this bag, because I do take my EDC bag for travel quite a bit, so I don't want a bunch of stuff that I can't carry on in this bag. So it's easy for me to remember what I need to pull out when I travel. Here is a little cell phone tripod. It's like magnetic. You can hook it on to a seat back. It's MagSafe. You can clip it on, carabiner it on to stuff. I use this to film sometimes. It folds out like a tripod. You can use it on all kinds of stuff. So I find that super handy, especially when I'm traveling or consuming media or whatever. Then I have a kind of a bigger pepper spray, like a more serious business pepper spray here. I have some of those just like little lightweight Gorilla kind of rubber palm gloves. I have a Dark Angel medical kit. I forget what this one's called, but it's a small one. It has a SWAT T tourniquet, bandage, quick clot, and some gloves in there. And then the only other thing I have down here is a thing of wet wipes in the bottom. You know, wet wipes are AR-15 mag sized, so that fits in there nicely. So this thing is pretty well loaded out, this little pouch. So you can kind of take how I have it loaded out, and gives you a good idea of what all you can fit in there. This top pocket is just kind of a dump pocket. There is an internal pocket here that is kind of felt lined essentially, so that's really where I would put sunglasses. I like that for when I travel. When I fly primarily, I'll maybe arrive at the airport and it's sunny, but I don't want to just like, you know, have my sunglasses hanging out, but I'm going to be traveling for a couple days or whatever. So I'll throw my sunglasses in there so they're protected, easy to get to, and I always know where they are. Beyond that, it's just, I got snacks in here. I got some of these little fig bars. I'll eat them. My kids will eat them, whatever. I got a couple packs of Element, and then I have some AirPods in there. That's it. And then really, we're just into the meat and potatoes of the main pouch here. So the main pouch, you can access, the side pouch I should mention as well. If you're not using it for concealed carry or whatever, you could slide a laptop in there or something if you like the slide access. If you need even more protection, you could put a laptop sleeve in there and then put the laptop in. It's not really a designated laptop pouch, but you can use it that way. They do have designated laptop area here. So when you're just using the bag normally, you can open it up like this and then pull your laptop in and out, just access it like a pretty standard bag. But you can also open it up all the way. So open it up like this to really access everything. So there's a lot of stuff you can put in here. You know, I should do an overhead, but I don't have this desk set up for an overhead view. So I'll just kind of show you as best I can how it's loaded out. So this here is at the top. So when you open it, this is kind of your top admin internal access. So I have a couple things here. I have a couple little carabiners clipped here. I have an emergency whistle, rape whistle maybe, I don't know. But just, I didn't carry these for a long time. I trimmed down my EDC bag a lot through the years. And actually just with this bag, I decided to beef it up a little bit more. So I went from a pretty minimal setup, well, minimal for me anyway, to kind of adding a fair bit of kit back in to kind of load this bag up a little more. I'll talk later at the end of the video, kind of, I guess, some EDC bag thoughts. Then I have a Bic lighter that's wrapped with duct tape, really the 1-inch Gorilla tape. So I just wrapped a few feet around that so I can get little chunks of duct tape if I need it for whatever. And then I have this little Woobin, what is it? The model of it, Woobin G5. It's a little light that I could clip onto things. I can clip onto hats and use as a headlamp. It has different brightness settings, USB-C chargeable. This little guy rotates so it can go, you know, a bunch of different angles. So it really works well in this configuration, which I use a lot. It has red light, RGB, all kinds of stuff, and it's relatively compact. So that fits right in there nicely. And then I have a Sharpie, dual tip Sharpie, and then this little titanium pen. This is a cool little pen. This one is the screw top that uses just the cheap Bic pen inserts. And it's all titanium. It has a nice weight. I really like this pen. So I have the twist off version in my bag, and I've actually been EDCing the regular Bic top version as well, which I'll show you in an EDC update that I'll do here soon. So Flytanium, I have coupon codes and affiliate links and all this stuff for basically everything I'm talking about in this video. So appreciate you looking in the video description for those links. Then there's two zipper pouches, one kind of a somewhat transparent, translucent pouch here, and then another zipper pouch underneath that is actually behind what I have here. This pouch here is kind of my tech pouch. I'll just kind of pull out and show you what I have in here. I do have a little sticky post-it notes. I think these are great if you need to leave a note for someone or write yourself a note with, you know, pen and paper essentially. I don't really have a notebook where I'm using, you know, write in the rain notebook, jotting. I don't really do that. I do stuff on my phone, but it still is good to have actual pen and paper for certain things. And I like post-it notes because typically if I'm going to be writing stuff down, it's not like in a journal. It's like I want to leave a note either for someone or for myself, a reminder. So post-it notes just work great for that. Then I have a little cigarette lighter charger. So if I'm traveling or I'm renting a car or whatever, and some, you know, it's just good to have these for charging devices. Maybe there's no USBs in it, or maybe they don't work, or maybe I need more. Then I have a wall brick with like 3 USB-Cs and a USB-A with cords wrapped around it, because again, this is a travel bag for me. Then I use a lot of these little Ziploc type bags. This is like a 2x3. I use some 3x5s. You buy these, you know, buy 100 pack on Amazon for $5 or whatever. This has an Apple Watch charger in it, and then just kind of a multi USB cable that has micro USB and lightning and whatnot. I have a wireless charger, a MagSafe power bank that has USB-C and USB-A. That's important because some things I have still use USB-A, but USB-C is all obviously better for most things. And then I do like the ability to just slap the charger onto the phone and put it in my pocket or whatever. So this does everything. It also has a little stand. This is an Anchor. Again, I'll link to all this stuff down below. But little charger, and then this is I have like an extra micro SD card, an SD card, the little card reader, and then a 1 terabyte USB-C and USB-A thumb drive essentially. So data transfer, or, you know, I'm getting stuff off my camera onto a laptop there. And that's it in kind of the tech pouch. I don't actually have anything in this other zipper pouch here. There are more of these kind of elastic but loop line straps that are pretty cool, so you can slap other Tactigami, slap other pouches. Vertx makes these pouches, which are awesome and actually size. It has the Velcro straps here that are spaced the same as that. So you can slap these pouches on if you want to use it, but I'm not using any of those right now. And then I have a beanie, and this is just a microfiber cloth. So a lightweight beanie is actually one of my LLOD beanies, and then microfiber. Then, man, I had this pouch probably deserves its own video because this will take like 20 minutes for me to talk through. But I have, this is an old VanQuest pouch. If you guys have watched my old EDC bag videos, I had this in a bag years ago, and then I quit carrying it because I never used the stuff in it, and I was like, I'm just gonna lighten the setup up. I have really never used, like maybe used one time the things in this bag, and so I just kind of emptied it out and never used it again. I grabbed it off the shelf and I reloaded it with some of the stuff that I had in it previously, because I was like, you know what? I'm not, it's extra weight, it's extra bulk, but why don't I have it? So this is the pouch of all the stuff that is nice to have. There's some stuff in here that I would have had in other pockets, but I just put it in here because I had a little extra space. I'm gonna do a follow-up video that's just the pouch, because otherwise this video will be an hour long, and I know people hate hour-long videos. So not to get more view, I don't know, I don't really care about that stuff, but just because I want to break this pouch down a little bit. Actually, screw a second video. I got too many videos that I need to post. So here it is. This is a VanQuest something rather pouch. I don't remember what it is. Got Leatherman bit kit. I carry Leathermans all the time. This is actually the Galvanox one that is, I like better than the regular bit kit because it's a single piece rather than two chunks, and it's cheaper as well. So inside, again, some of these I may put in a bag if I didn't have this pouch, like they're important enough to keep in the bag, like spare cash and a couple of things like that, but I have this pouch, so I put it all in this pouch. So I have these big kind of heavy duty safety pins over here. They're like 3-inch big safety pins. Bunch of things I could use those for. Will I use them? Who knows? Little pair of shears here, little mini Bic, so I have another Bic in the bag. This is a little spool of Kevlar cordage. This is spare cash. You know, it's good to have cash on hand in, again, one of those little bags. This is in one of those little bags as well. This is a little ratcheting, has the end that goes into a Skeletool or the Leatherman bit kit action, so you can put it in one of these and then do that, and then it's a little ratchet, so it can accept 1/4-inch bits, or it can also accept the Leatherman bit kit bits, and then you have a little super mini ratchet they could use in a tool, or if you just want a little tiny ratchet, you can use that. And then I do have the bit extension for the bit kit as well. I need to quit taking things out of the pouch because this section will get too long. So extension, ratchet, I have a little 4-inch adjustable wrench. I have a pair of, I still will call them Knipex, but some Knipex channel locks. And then I have about 20 feet of paracord in this pocket behind. I do have a duct tape card that I just made, duct tape wrapped around a business card. I have a straight edge here, a little clear ruler, and some of these little Velcro cable ties, which I've talked about in many videos in the past, but they're essentially reusable zip tie cable ties that you should get a spool of them because I use them for everything. That wraps up that side. Here we have a little water filter straw. This is a little hair tie. This is an emergency tampon. Yes, it's an emergency tampon for myself because I'm a woman. No, people get so hung up on a guy carrying a tampon for an emergency. I do have a teenage daughter and a wife who they both get periods, and they're both women, so they forget things sometimes. So anyway, tampon, I don't know why I need to explain. why I have that for the morons out there. But little thing of super glue, again, in a little bag. I have some AAAs, I have some AA's, lithiums, and then a CR123 battery, another whistle, nitrile gloves, pair of tweezers, some earplugs, some alcohol hand sanitizer. I have some little flossers and some Q-tips in here. I have a little BooBoo kit here with some butterfly bandages, some Steri-strips, some Band-Aids, some wipes, some ibuprofen, some diphenhydramine, bunch of miscellaneous stuff like that. Little BooBoo kit that I buy all these things, like 50 packs of them, and then I make a bunch of these little things that I have in vehicles, in other bags. These are just the cheapest way to do it, and I make a bunch of them. So the 50 packs or whatever are worth it. This is an N95 mask, so I can put this on when I'm alone in my car. No, actually, you know, there's use cases for smoke inhalation, for dust, for maybe I'm sawing a bunch of crap, or I'm just in an environment with concrete dust, and there's a bunch of reasons for this, or, you know, someone dropped some biohazard weapon. So I keep one of those on hand. And then this is a little kind of a single-use poncho, but they're pretty small. You can buy them by the 10-pack. I have them just kind of tucked in places. And I think that is it. Oh, in the back I have a few more of these Velcro ties, and then a few zip ties just kind of looped through the back. Anyway, so that's the pouch. Then I have a radio pouch. This has a spare battery. I'm a ham operator. I have my technicians. I'm a lowly technician, but I have my technician's license. This is Yaesu FT5D. It is modded, so I can talk on all the frequencies and listen on all the frequencies. So this is good to have. Communication, obviously, but information. You can listen to the emergency, the weather, and the emergency radio broadcasts. So I like having this on me. I can communicate with my vehicle. I also have a ham radio in my vehicle as well. So if I need to go do something, but I want to communicate with my wife that's back in the car or whatever, I can do that. Just a ton of uses. I have a bigger antenna. I forget what this one is. One of these like whip antennas there. And then I have a little FRS radio, a really compact one in this little pouch here that I can use essentially, you know, turn this radio into a walkie-talkie. So this bigger radio has the ability to talk on these frequencies as well. So if I need to hand someone another radio for whatever reason, maybe we're doing a vehicle recovery or something, I have that as well. And then just extra batteries and chargers for the setup there. So this I just like having on me. I usually have other ham radios kind of on me, but this is 2 radios. I can talk to a bunch of stuff on it, so I have it in there. Beyond that, depends on the loadout, but I'll just have, this is a MacBook Air 13-inch. You can fit a 16-inch laptop in here. It actually has dual pockets, so sometimes I'll travel with an iPad Pro, and it'll fit in there, so you can have dual things as well. And some more loop lining at different spots here if you wanted to add other pouches. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. I've talked about this in previous EDC bag videos. I don't like to keep my bags like loaded to the brim. So even though there was a lot of stuff in this bag, obviously, I know that, I still have a bunch of room in here, a bunch of room to, depending on what I'm doing that day, what I want to bring. Maybe I got to throw lunch in here, some other gear. Maybe I'll just throw a single camera in here because I want to go light. Whatever it is, I have quite a bit of extra room in the main pouch, in the main compartment of this bag. The cool thing about this bag also, I didn't touch on it earlier, but it has this kind of secret pocket down here. Not really a secret pocket necessarily, but it kind of is a secret pocket. So you can store more stuff in this pocket. Here's some slimmer items up in this pocket, whether you need a cash stash or whatever it is. But what it really is a storage compartment for this expandable, basically, hammock, a gear hammock. So it has these adjustable straps here that clip in to these up here. So some previous gamuts have had a feature that was similar to this, but it was a little more clumsy because it was baked into a pocket. So if you use this feature, then all the items that you had in that pocket were either kind of just like bouncing around or they're kind of exposed. So this one, you keep all of your other pockets intact, and then you just add this expanding thing. So it's big enough if you want to put bump helmets in here, if you got a windbreaker or a rain shell that you want to throw in there, or a flannel or whatever. Maybe it got too hot and you just want to have some overflow compartment. That is that. So you could throw like a full-on winter jacket in here. These straps are nearly as tight as they get, and they expand a lot. So you could have something really bulky in here. And then, you know, when you're done and you don't need it anymore, you could take that thing out, and then all you got to do is shove this thing back up in the pocket, and then zip it closed, and then you're back to kind of svelte, streamlined backpack action. So it's a nice bag. Nice EDC bag. Could be a good kind of get home bag, a good just do anything bag. So that's the new Gamut, and that's what I have in it. So I know the video is pretty long, so I'll be kind of brief here. But so this bag, so I carry EDC on body all the time. I carry a gun, I carry a knife, multi-tool, flashlight. Like I carry a decent amount of stuff on body every day. So this bag does have some redundancy with the stuff I carry on body. I also have my vehicles loaded out. I do a lot of vehicle stuff on the channel if you're new here. So I have like truck EDC, prepared daily driver series of all the stuff that I keep in my vehicle, which is even more than obviously that I'm going to keep in a bag. And there's some redundancy there with what I have in my vehicle versus what I have in my bag. And then a lot of my vehicles, most of my vehicles, I have kind of a dedicated get home bag as well. Usually where I will get stuff from the vehicle and kind of fill the bag out depending on what that get home scenario might be. Will I ever need a get home bag? Hopefully not, probably not, but I like to have it. So this bag kind of edges over a little bit, especially with what I have in that pouch, edges over a little bit into get home bag territory, but it is my everyday bag. So sometimes I'll have this bag in a vehicle that I also have a get home bag in. In that scenario, I don't know. Maybe I'll just take this instead of the get home bag and grab a few things from the truck and get home with it. This is the bag I would take if I travel. I usually travel with this bag and then maybe just this bag because, again, I have enough room in here for some clothes and some hygiene items. And so sometimes if it's just like a 2-day trip, I will just take this bag because I travel pretty light. Otherwise, I'll take this and maybe another carry-on, or depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing, I'll bring a checked bag and this bag. But this bag is usually what I'm going to travel with. My EDC bag is usually what I'm going to travel with on a plane. It's also what I'm going to throw in if maybe my friend picks me up and I got to go do a shoot, or maybe I'm dropping my vehicle off at a dealership or selling a vehicle or buying a vehicle or whatever, and I'm going to need to take an Uber from here to there. I'm going to be sitting around in a waiting room for a while, writing emails. This is the bag I'll bring for that. If we're hopping into my wife's car, which I do have gear in my wife's car as well, I'll oftentimes still just grab this bag. If I'm going out and we're going out to a bunch of family gatherings throughout the day and maybe I'll need to write some emails or something, I'll usually bring this bag. So this bag goes with me nearly everywhere, even if I am in a vehicle that has its own like get home bag, because this will kind of function as a get home bag as well. Sorry, I reached my limit. So this bag I may use for the get home scenario. I got a buddy that wants to do one probably from like where his office is in Denver back up towards the mountains, and that'll be, we'll be going through downtown Denver and stuff like that, which I usually would never do. So this would be like a worst case get home scenario. Well, worst case that I'm in, you know, not 200 miles away from the house. Worst case get home scenario for me. I maybe will bring this bag for that. So anyway, that's kind of the philosophy. That's the bag. Really like it. Yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any other gear specific videos you want me to do, let me know. But man, this is kind of kicking it old school style with the EDC bag video, but I think I mentioned it in some recent videos. I'm getting the gear itch back. I was kind of just busy building house, having kids, getting married, all this kind of stuff, and I just kind of didn't put a whole lot of focus or effort or thought into new gear and new loadouts, but I'm kind of getting back into it. So this was fun. It's fun to do. Appreciate you watching. Leave some comments, get subscribed to the channel. Always appreciate all that stuff. It's always good for the old algo. Share this video with others. And then, like I said earlier, I will link to all of this stuff down in the video description below. Appreciate you clicking those links. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care.